there was a canine, currently is a canine, named Arlo from the Thurston County Sheriff's Department. Now, Arlo got shot. Arlo's a dog. He's a canine. He's a German Shepherd. Beautiful young dog. And in the wake of that tragedy, in the midst of this horror, the police department said, we got to support our dog. We have to go out there and crowdsource and raise some funds to get him through this traumatic and tumultuous time. They did that, but it turns out, even though the internet was responding with open arms and a lot of love and charity, turns out the police actually shot the dog themselves. What? So this is a good one. This is over from the Intercept. Cops crowdfunded their canine's hospital bills, then quietly admitted they had shot him. This is over from the Intercept.com. Posted yesterday. Says police canine and TikTok star gets life-saving surgery at OSU after he was shot twice. Read one headline from ABC News in Oregon this January. They said Thurston County Sheriff Canine Arlo back home after undergoing surgery in Oregon. Right now, the police dog and an armed driver are in the hospital after a police chase and shooting overnight in Thurston County. That was back on January 14th. The state patrol says one of its troopers shot the driver. The driver shot a canine named Arlo. Say, the day after the incident, they said that. Fox News reported the sheriff's office said a suspect... No, I'm sorry. Let's read this again because I just botched that. Right now, police dog and an armed driver are in a hospital. Como News reporters told reporters after January 14th, the state patrol says one of its troopers shot the driver. The driver shot a canine named Arlo. The sheriff's office said a suspect exchanged gunfire with officers, injuring the suspect, canine Arlo, on scene. That story, that a canine was shot in the line of duty in Thurston County, made waves in local news for weeks and even got national attention. All the elements of a feel-good news story. Police apprehended a suspect in a high-speed chase. He pointed a gun at them and their dog had been injured in the altercation, but not to worry. The community is saving the canine Arlo. The only problem, the gun wielded by the suspect that some had suggested shot Arlo didn't contain any bullets. No shell casings from his weapon were found at the scene. The only bullets that were fired came from the police. Thurston County Sheriff's Arlo back home after undergoing surgery. So the police canine and the TikTok star finally gets life-saving surgery at OSU after he was shot twice. That was posted back on January 21st. Police dog underwent multiple surgeries over the weekend to remove a bullet near his spine. Poor guy. The dog was shot twice while on the job and immediately transported to emergency care. Not only did the bullet go through part of the shoulder joint and some nerves, but also shattered some of the 6 vertebrae. Bullet missed some critical structures. If they were hit, he could have bled to death. He's unlucky, but lucky. He's in recovery, and he's starting to try to walk without assistance. So here is a little clip from that from Como News over at ABC4.
Right now, a police dog and an armed driver are in the hospital after a police chase and shooting overnight in Thurston County. Deputies and state troopers were following a 25-year-old man along I-5 into Grand Mound, where the shooting happened. They haven't said what prompted the chase initially. The State Patrol says one of its troopers shot the driver. The driver shot a canine officer named Arlo. Troopers say both Arlo and the driver have serious but survivable wounds. It's not clear exactly what happened in the moments right before that gunfire.
All right, so that's the news report. And then shortly thereafter, we get this little update over from the sheriff. We have here on January 27th, weekly press release over from Mason County Sheriff's Office says, for the past week, we've been finishing up interviews, booking the suspect into jail, compiling reports. As many of you have seen, Arlo is back home and on his road to recovery. At this time, based on the evidence from the scene, to include input car patrol video, we believe that canine Arlo's injuries were sustained by friendly fire. Oh no. Suspect ultimately was booked as Victor Hugo Ortiz Buccio, released from the hospital, so he's still alive. Burke booked into Thurston County Jail on 4 counts of assault and attempting to elude. So we have a prosecutor named John Tunheim has asked them to conduct an independent review of the officer's use of force. So that's good. We'll be taking a look at that. Once the independent investigation is completed, it will be referred to the Mason County Prosecution's Office. No estimated timeline on the completion. So that's interesting, right? So they come back out now a few days later. So this was on January 27th. The original story was back about a week earlier. And they're actually going to be doing an investigation into it. So that's interesting. The report on the I-5 shooting says that he was, in fact, hit by friendly fire from local law enforcement. New report sheds light on the details. The Olympian, who is the name of the newspaper, obtained a report from the sheriff, which led the investigation into the shooting. So here's what they found. 5 Thurston County deputies and 1 Washington State Patrol trooper reportedly fired on Ortiz Bucio on January 13th. There was a high-speed chase. Arlo was also shot 2 times. A GoFundMe was organized by the Thurston County Deputy Sheriff's Foundation. They raised $73,000 for the dog, which had to undergo surgery following the shooting. The description for the fundraiser did not disclose that Arlo's injuries were the result of friendly fire or indicate what the money would be used for. That's a lot of money. I mean, aren't these dogs, don't they have health insurance? Like, seriously, don't these dogs have insurance? They're very expensive assets for the government. So I would imagine they have health insurance and other insurance. So where's that 73 grand going if the dog has insurance? A description of the video evidence with the view of Ortiz Bucio notes he stepped out of the vehicle and pointed his weapon at law enforcement. However, only shots from law enforcement are noted in the incident description. By that point, Arlo's story had taken a life on its own. $73,000 for medical bills. His social media following on TikTok went up to 2.5 million. Instagram to 130,000. Arlo's handler, a deputy with the sheriff's office, together with another K9 handler and ex-cop, started a website called Varlo Nation, a business for law enforcement officers and others to buy affordable quality equipment. So they're all grifting on the back of this poor dog that they shot. No such efforts were being made to support the recovery of the suspect, who was hospitalized after being shot at least 3 times by police and later told a nurse he was contemplating suicide. This is the worst. This poor guy. I should not be laughing. This is just terrible. So Arlo gets 2.5 million TikTok viewers and 73 grand. The poor guy who got shot 3 times, they're doing a use of force investigation into it, whether they should have just opened fire on this guy. He's contemplating suicide, just got out of the hospital. What a country. The Thurston County Deputy Sheriff Foundation, which raised $73,000 for Arlo's care, also raises money for the K9 program. The nonprofit is not maintained by Thurston County, they said in an email statement. So the program is almost entirely paid for through donations, and the sheriff office pays for medical insurance for each dog they own, he wrote. There you go. That answers that question. The funds from the foundation have not yet been spent. They will be used to offset any non-covered expenses, they wrote. The foundation will make a decision regarding any unspent funds. And you can look here. Miss Faith went and found this guy. So K9 Arlo, 2.5 million. And we got Varlo Nation over here. So some cop is just making a lot of money off this, selling affordable quality equipment. Good job. We also have over here on Twitter, official K9 Arlo, 129,000. Varlo Nation, 8,700. And then here's the clip from 73,000. Not to mention all of the swag. You got to have swag. When you're running a real high level grift off a dog that you shot yourself, then you want to make sure you make some t-shirts and hats over it. Yet Thurston County Police continue to ride a wave of public interest that followed the friendly fire incident. As of at least mid-March, 2 months after the incident, they were still selling merchandise with the dog's photo, and they even partnered with a local graphic design shop that agreed to give $1 from every sale to fund the K9 unit. So that's good. It's all right. Look, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. If you shoot your own dog, it's a pretty sympathetic thing, as long as the public doesn't know that. K9 TikTok star earns the Paw of Courage Award. Oh, no, you're kidding me. So he gets an award for it. One of the K9 stars at TikTok's got the 2021 AKC Paw of Courage Award. All right. He was given because of his heroic service in the line of being shot by the police department. The American Kennel Club says it's given in appreciation for dogs of work in the service of humankind. I won't disagree with that. They are definitely serving humanity by having to work with these people. He is 2 years old, mid-20s, dog years, German Shepherd, honored. His human partner, Deputy Turbin, also has gained 2.5 million followers on TikTok. So that's the guy who's doing it. As a way to raise money for his care, at least 40 grand in veterinary bills. He's now out of the hospital. So medical insurance will pay for that. And then they've got another windfall of something like 73 grand. It's a shining example of dedication, selfishness, and loyalty that working dogs exhibit in the line of duty. He risks his life each and every day trying to dodge bullets from his own police department, which is just great. All right, what else do we have going on here? Let's wrap this up. We got a couple quick slides to get through. The 6 officers involved in the incident were put on administrative leave. Yeah, because they just opened up and just started firing towards their dog. They found 22 deadly use of force incidents over the first 6 months of last year. We got some comments here. The CIIT declined to participate in a study. According to the report, law enforcement deputies fired at the suspect for 7 seconds, hitting him multiple times. After the suspect was taken to a hospital, nurse told him that it was her understanding that he had shot the canine. The suspect later told investigators that the gun wasn't functional. January 27th, they admit that they actually shot him. The officers have returned to duty. Dog's injuries required tens of thousands in surgery and medical bills. The handler documented his recovery process on social media, according to the incident report, and published an Instagram post claiming Arlo was shot by a suspect that has since been deleted. Mason County investigator made multiple requests of them that Arlo's handler be instructed to stop using social media to comment on the case while it's being investigated, according to the incident report, which is here. So here we now have it. And anything good here? Let's take a look. So this is what it looks like. Mason County Sheriff's Office, March 31st, 2021. So it just came out recently. Says we got a supplemental incident narrative. On January 13th at 21:15 hours, I was contacted by phone. Critical incident. Other members, I was assigned with you got to be kidding me. I was assigned along with Detective Drogmund. Almost like dog. Drog. Oh, the simulation is winking at us. To respond to Thurston County Sheriff's Office in Tumwater to photograph and collect uniforms and equipment. I assisted Drogmund with photographing and collecting uniforms and equipment. I went back over, contacted Victor in room 216. Graves was present. Miranda warnings. He said that he tried to commit suicide by cop. When questioned about why, he said, because I don't want to live anymore. Because of the shit I've done, said the guy. So he's just struggling. Later in the conversation, he further disclosed that he had something and somebody all blanked out. Victor advised of his plan to commit suicide by cop and described taking an old gun and a pistol. Down here, he says, after there were a bunch of police vehicles behind him, he decided to pull over and place the gun from his vehicle in his center console into his jacket pocket. Victor advised as he exited the truck, and when the cops told him to put his hands up, Victor pulled the gun out of his pocket, aimed it at the police, and forced them to shoot him. He advised that the gun he used does not have a firing pin, and he also did not have any bullets in it. Victor advised after being shot, he did not comply with commands to show his hands. He was hoping to bleed out from being shot during the encounter, which is just terrible. So hopefully that man is getting a little bit of help, and that dog is recovering. Arlo, man, get well soon, my friend. Tragic thing you went through. Hopefully the police don't shoot you again in the future, or anybody else for that matter. And so let's take a look at some questions over on this story before we get out of here for the day. We've got, let me pull some of these up. All right, we got one in the queue. Says, Ma Fox says, cops actually end up shooting their dogs fairly often, unfortunately. This isn't uncommon as much as I'd hate to admit it. Well, Ma, I was trying to have fun with that story, and now that's even more depressing. It's a depressing thing, right? I mean, obviously we don't want cops shooting their dogs. We don't want cops shooting people. We don't want cops getting injured. But it is kind of a ridiculous story that the police shot their own dog and then raised 73,000 and 2.5 million police followers on TikTok. Pretty good move. Pretty good move there. All right, so that's it for the program, everybody. I want to thank you for being a part of it. For those of you who answered and asked questions today, great questions. Thank you so much for sending those over. The way to do that is by submitting those over at watchingthewatchers.locals.com. That's the forum to be at. And I want to thank those of you who are supporting the show. Big thanks to Takahari, Seji, and Fishcat down there at the bottom. Also want to say thank you to Molly May. We got XN Drew. We got B Campy. We have Fang3. We also have No Doubt SF Bob. Big thanks to Jax842. We have E to the Social Viking is in the room. And we also had a couple people sign up over the evening. So I want to welcome Crazy Lady P. Welcome to Geek Dumb. 2 new people joined up, as well as C Chicago, TSPEV, Tweak, It's Jelly, Tony Ammo, Lisa Lemon, Jammo, and others. Everybody, thank you so much for supporting our community over at watchingthewatchers.locals.com. You keep the show energized and jazzed up, and we just very much appreciate it. If you have not already gone over there, there's a good reason to do so. There's a couple things you can grab. Number one is a free copy of my book. It's called Beginning to Winning. There's a PDF download that's available when you sign up. You can also get a copy of all the slides that we just went through. Download those if you'd like to see where they came from, get any links, get those clips, or just go through and sort of review the material. Also, can grab a copy of my Existence Systems, which is over here, actually. This is the impeachment party template, which is going away soon, but we have links and great people over at our Locals platform. So go on over there, sign up, and join a great community. It's at watchingthewatchers.locals.com. And before we wrap up, I want to remind you that I am a criminal defense attorney, and we love to help good people who have been charged with crime. So if you happen to know anybody in the state of Arizona who has been charged with anything like DUI, drugs, domestic violence, minor misdemeanors, major misdemeanors, felonies, traffic violations, if they have an old warrant that they want to clear up, if they have an old criminal charge that needs to be dealt with so that they can restore their rights, the ability to vote, to possess a firearm again, to just go apply for some federal benefits, to go apply for an apartment without having to check that box, we can help you clear some of that stuff up. So we offer free case evaluations. Our mission is to provide good people charged with crimes with safety, clarity, and hope about their cases and their futures. And so we would be honored and humbled if you trusted us enough to send your referrals our way. We'll make sure we take very good care of them. And we're pretty good at what we do. We just love it. So that is it from me, everybody. I want to thank you so much for being a part of the program. Get some nice rest tonight. Sleep well. Make sure you have a nice hearty dinner. Stay hydrated, because we're going to be back tomorrow. It's going to be day 20. Can you imagine that? Day 20 of the Chauvin trial, and we're looking forward to it. So we want to make sure that you are here and with us and ready to rock and roll. So we will be back here, same time, same place, 4 p.m. Arizona time, which is the same as Pacific time, which means it's 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And for that one Florida man out there, everybody, thank you so much for being a part of the program today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.